a decision had to be made now to join the two parties in 88. And that is when we talked, we jumped, and gone back, and we're now jumping forward again. So those final debates about joining with the Liberals was in 88, after the 87 general election, after the David Owen, David Steele joint head fiasco, where they always appeared on television together in those 3 weeks. And they always appeared in dark suits. And I remember saying in a conference afterwards that the only thing that they could have done well with the way they performed was if they had to be called to go on television to announce the end of the world. Because, and that brought the house down in a Liberal conference, brought the house down. Really, people laughed for a minute or two on that, because they always went back, dark, dour men, both looking the same. One about 6 inches higher than the other, the parrot on the shoulder bits, spitting image, it was ready-made to be ridiculed, ready-made to be ridiculed. So then in 88, it was overwhelming, but it left its mark on both parties. There were people in the SDP who didn't want one party, and there were people in the Liberal Party who didn't want to join with those terrible SDP ex-Labour people. Like them in Wales. You know what I mean? In Wales, there were 3 prominent Liberals who hardly did anything from 81 to 87. Jenny Anderson, Mike German, Peter Black. Very, very, very little. And yet there were 3 experienced campaigners, 3 experienced councillors. But they spent a fair bit of their time putting iron spokes in the iron in the fire all the time. Not too much, but it would have been much better if they were there with us from 81, 82 openly. But they weren't. Reluctantly they were. Letting things go on, letting other people do the donkey work, and it would have been much better. The minute it became one party again, they came out from the woodwork. I was defeated by 1 vote to be the chairperson of the new party in Wales. I did not mind that. I'd been chair of the SDP twice for 4 years. I'd been the Alliance chairman for 6 years. But I still lost by 1 to Jenny Anderson for the new Liberal Democrats. But what did that tell you? Because what happened was, the old Liberals now, this is going to be a new party, and the word Liberal is in it, not SDP and the Alliance Committee, it's now going to be a Liberal Democrat party. Back they came, and they won the vote. And from my memory, SDP candidates lost every position on the committees. Everything was dominated by the Liberals. And even to this day, I doubt if there's more than 1 or 2 of the SDP people that were there from the early 80s. I doubt if they were in any position of any kind. The Liberals have dominated the scene. In Britain...
Is it worth asking at this point, maybe David Owen saw that coming?
This is what I'm on about, and this is what I said. This is what I said, that maybe Owen... I have said already, maybe he had a point. Maybe we had joined too early. The joining was inevitable if we wanted to succeed, right? And in the end, remember, it went up to 50 odd members of parliament by now, okay? So it's worked to some extent. What would have happened if it was still 2 separate parties for the 1992 general election? We will never know. We will never know. But yes, and David Owen used to say that. And I never thought it would be as dramatic as that, certainly in Wales. And he probably thought, we are going to be lambs for the slaughter here, when the more experienced Liberals will return under one party. Now that's happened in Wales. I don't think it's happened in England. I don't think it's happened in Scotland. I don't think so. But in Wales it has happened. You know, and that is because of a, 100 years and plus of Liberal tradition. You know, and the trouble, I didn't mind them regaining their power base, as long as they kept to the same policies, which they did in the main, to be fair. But the electoral tactics changed. You know, the SDP and the Alliance were an all-Wales campaigning party, trying to get members in every constituency, and it was hard. In the valleys, it was very, very hard. You know, unless you become an all-Wales party, you're not going to succeed, right? But now the Liberal Democrats have gone back to base in Wales. They've gone back to Cardigan, Montgomery and Brecon. And they're happy with that. And of course one Cardiff seat, although that's been lost by now. Okay? And that's it. The extent of their vision goes no further than that. As long as they keep hold of mid Wales, they are happy. But the Lib Dems will never ever have a base in Wales now. It was hard enough. It was hard enough for us. You know, remember the 83 election. We had 23% of the vote in Wales. Okay, we had a very strong vote in 87. I have got all the details because I wrote a book about it all, with all the factual details. Local elections, we were second to Labour in many on number of councillors, on percentage of the vote, you know, but we never went above 20-25%, and that was hard work. Now, I don't know what Lib Dems have in Wales, 8%, 7%, 9%, something of that kind, you know, but inevitable. If you concentrate on a small base in mid-Wales, if you ignore the rest of Wales, what do you expect? And that was, so I more or less said goodbye in my heart, not to the Lib Dems, but to Wales. This is, because if I stayed inside, I'd be yet again back to the 70s, causing trouble, fighting the leadership, and causing trouble and splitting the Lib Dems in Wales, and I didn't want that, because the whole movement was... I had invested far more than Tom Ellis and myself had invested far more than anyone else to get to 1988, and I wasn't going to smash that under any circumstance. So I said to myself, well, I'll just become a member in the Gower constituency for a short while, and I'll look for a seat somewhere else. I'll move out to the Welsh scene, and I'll try and get onto a more national base.